fingers.
What's up, guys? Joe Static, straight from the Static, and we're here for a little different take on the channel. You know, on the channel here it says I cover, pro wrestling, UFC, and collecting. So this video I'm going to be dipping more into the collecting side. I was a toy vendor for a long time. Used to do shows, sell online, you name it. I had every toy line, I think, at one point. I used to have this room at my mom's house that I kept all my stuff in, even after I moved out many years ago. And the room was filled from the floor to the ceiling. You couldn't even open the door. That's how many new toys there were in there. It took me years. I actually sold majority of that stuff. Some of that stuff I probably should have kept, but in this video, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 action figure play sets from the 90s. My favorite top 5. And when I think of the top 5, these 5 come to mind immediately. So I figure I'd share this with you. A little throwback here. Some nostalgia. We all love nostalgia. So I figured make a top 5. These are my favorite play sets from the 90s. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Let's jump right into it.
Number 5.
Yeah! Cool! Throttle, Vinnie, Moto, biker mice on battle bikes with the firepower to stop the evil Plutarchians. And now, make way for Blazing Cycle!
First up is the Biker Mice from Mars Scoreboard Hideout. This was a great playset. Basically where the Biker Mice from Mars would hang out after crash landing there from outer space. This was a cool toy to get, especially for a playset if you had all the Biker Mice from Mars figures, which I did. This is where they worked out. This is where they hung out. It was their super headquarters and their hideout. Pretty cool playset for the 90s, and Biker Mice from Mars was just awesome back then.
Biker Mice from Mars. Biker Mice from Mars. Biker Mice from Mars.
It definitely left a lot to be desired, as you can see here. I think it's missing a couple pieces in this photo, but it looked a lot cooler on the box than it did once you took it out. I mean, it is what it is. A playset's a playset. At least, they actually released one for the Biker Mice. This was my number one guy here, Throttle. I love this figure. I remember getting this. I think it was like at Walgreens or one of the old department stores. I can't remember which one, but Throttle and Lindbergh I used to carry around forever. I used to carry this guy everywhere with me, these two. Especially, I loved the head that would come for the figure. I'd always put that head on and swap it out. I think that was awesome. He's a great bad guy for the Biker Mice. Awesome toy line. And if you're this guy, whoever was in this costume back in the day, hit me up. We'll do an interview and how it felt to be a Biker Mice from Mars character live in store.
Number
you know what I mean?
4.
Just another day at the Daily Bugle. Got that sinking feeling, Spiderman. Will someone please take out the garbage? Wherever I go, Hobgoblin misses me.
Number 4 is the Spider-Man Daily Bugle playset. I remember getting this for Christmas when it came out. Same thing. I would play with this playset every day, all day. I loved Spider-Man the Animated Series at the time, and I loved the toy line even more. Especially that it came, I was a big slime guy, ooze guy, so especially that it came in a little bucket of slime, man, I was all about it. I used to play with Spider-Man and Venom and the Hobgoblin all day. I mean, it was such a great playset. Daily Bugle playset, Venom's glob-filled water tower and dumpster, the crank operator buzzsaw for Dr. Octopus. I mean, this screams the 90s. And if you were a fan of the animated series, I feel like you had to have this playset.
Number 3.
Master, the ears. Well, Igor, could be more disgusting. How about some bubbling boils and green glob? Now I'm losing my lunch.
Monster Face, the gruesome monster head you make and remake.
Man, they just don't make toys like this anymore. Number 3, I put Monster Face. This was another cool playset I had as a kid. I think I got this same thing around Christmas time. Kind of random. You know, I had no idea it existed at the time. But as soon as I got it, I fell in love with it. A lot of different faces you can make here. Same thing with the slime and goop. Of course, it came with that. You know, the crazy hair. Here's an image of the slime here. It's pretty cool. Monster Glop. So I was all about this as soon as I got it. And you can make different variations. You know, if you liked monster toys, monster stuff, this was definitely something to have as a kid. A lot of different variations. I think it came with like a Play-Doh kind of clay too to mold the face or nose. It's just a great piece growing up. And I always think of this when I think of play sets or things I got that stuck out in my mind. Monster Face was always up there. Great play set. A lot of hours spent making different things. And this also exists. Goosebumps had their own version of this, which was the exact same thing, just under the Goosebumps brand. Monster Head Maker. Recreate 4 characters inspired by your favorite Goosebump books, which basically made no sense, but it was basically the Monster Head repackaged. Still a cool piece if you're a Goosebumps collector.
What? Numero dos.
Now create your own Terminator with the BioFlesh Regenerator.
I'm back! Yeah? Think again. Battle damage.
Add flesh compound.
Terminator created.
Terminator.
I'm back!
Man, it does not get any better than this. This playset is my childhood in a box. I loved Terminator 2. I still do. I think it's one of the best sequels ever made. But this Terminator 2 BioFlesh Regenerator, when I got this thing, man, I played with it. I can't even tell you how long. I love this playset. The fact that you could make the skin and put it on the figure and then cut it off, oh my God. That was like a game changer when I was a kid. I would spend hours, same thing with this playset, just putting the Terminator exoskeleton in there, making it, seeing the skin fill up, pulling it out. I could still like feel the skin when I'm thinking about it, cutting that skin off. Just an awesome piece. A lot of creativity went into these toys back then, you know, especially the Kenner line, the Kenner toys. This is just a fantastic piece. Look at that. You see the whole set there. You put the exoskeleton in, make the skin, cut it off. I mean, this was just my childhood. I couldn't get enough of this playset. Just an awesome piece. Great 90s piece. And now the grand finale, Skull Mountain. Man, this is the end-all be-all for me. I remember getting this in 1993 when it came out. My favorite playset of all time. It doesn't get much better than this. When I think of playsets from the 90s, this is number 1. Mighty Max Skull Mountain. I mean, it was just awesome. The size of it, the detail, the characters it came with, even the artwork on the box. I mean, the whole package of this was everything to me as a kid. I had to put it at number 1. I mean, look at this playset. It's just, Mighty Max in general is awesome, but this playset just tops it all for me. This will always be my number 1. Look at the characters: Mighty Max, the Rock Monster, the Giant Crab, the Evil War Monster, the Evil Skull Master, the Double-Headed Dragon. I can't tell you how many hours I played with this. This was my childhood. Right in a box here. 1993, Mighty Max Skull Mountain. It doesn't get any better than this.